Hey everyone, this is Carla, and welcome to an all new episode of Projectize, the project management show, where we talk about three things: the business of project management, how businesses use project management, and obtaining project management. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the politics of project management training. So, a little bit about me. I have project management professional, certified Scrum, IDO 3 and 4 certifications. And I wanted to talk about the politics of project management because I often talk about why people choose to self finance their certifications, just pay their own way versus uh, actually getting, formal training. And I've been on both sides. And what I just mostly received my IDO, which is IT Infrastructure Library. It used to be, now it's just IDO 4. And the reason why I want to talk about the politics is because when you accept training money, you're accepting a certain process. And when you self finance, you are financing it yourself, but you don't have to be beholden to someone. And the whole thing about IDO 4, since it's new, is something that I wanted to detail about the project, the politics of it. So I know that there's some training there. So I just emailed somebody about training and about IDO 4 and whether or not a certain program was going to offer it. And I got a very convoluted answer. And even though I currently have the IDO 4, I was doing this on behalf of somebody who I used the training grant to get. And I would relay information to this person because it's all about providing information, making sure other people who are in the program have current skills and that you're updated. Because one of the things right now, if you were to take the IDO 3 and pass it, you will, this time next year, you still would have to come back and take the IDO 4 because the IDO 3 is being phased out in June 2020. So that means that taking the IDO 3, even though it's 14 months away, that will decrease your value because you just have to go through the same thing in the same test. Whereas if you take the IDO 4, the foundation never expires until they roll out the IDO 5, meaning that you don't have to recertify. As I mentioned before, with the project management professional, I have to get 60 credits. Every 2 years with the certified Scrum Master, I have to pay $100. With IDO, I just took the test. I passed it. I don't have to take another test anymore until the IDO 5 comes out. And that's great. But as I mentioned, the politics is that if you accept the money, you're actually accepting the terms. And then it's a lot of people who don't understand or don't know anything about the current process. And that's something that I have run into. So let me give you a background. As I mentioned before, the IDO 4 has just come out February 28th, 2019. So this is April, about 6 weeks ago. And I received my IDO 4 March 31st, 2019. Okay, well, I got in contact with someone and I learned like when you do the training, it's based on a contract. Well, yes, obviously I know that as a project manager, but what I didn't know was the intricacies of a project, of the contract. So say for instance, you have a contract that's IDO 3 and you do every year you have a task order. So you have say a 3-year contract, 3 task orders. Every year you have a separate task order and you do the recompete. Well, in this situation, with Axlos, which is the test administrator, rolling out the new IDO 4, say for instance, you have your recompete was December 31st. That means even though you know that the IDO 4 is out there, your contract says IDO 3. So under a contract, you may be beholden to providing IDO 3 until the recompete of this year, December 31st, 2019. So that's another reason, like talking about the politics of it. Yes, you can go through an agency and they can probably give you training, but if you know that the new one is out and you the current thing says 3, if you don't want to self-finance or pay for the 4, then you would be taking IDO 3, knowing that this time next year you're going to have to go through and take the IDO 4 because the IDO 3 is being phased out. And that's something that I didn't really think about, when I first took the grant, or something that I didn't consider initially when I was talking about the reasons why some people self-finance. I just had that experience most recently with my IDO 4. And as with Projectize, I always want to be in a situation where I provide help and demystify the project management process. And that's something that you have to take into consideration, that when you're getting money from agencies or any training money that's not your own, then the contract may be in place that if there's a concurrent certification, that you may get the older of the two because the contract hasn't been updated and they're on the new task order. This is not an isolated incident. Last year, CompTIA, which is a vendor or a test administrator for cybersecurity certification, they had the Security Plus 401 and the Security Plus 501 running concurrently. And that means that if you, under this situation with the contract, unless they changed it, technically you could have been going for the 401 or the older one versus the 501. So that's also the reason for the inspiration of this episode, because this isn't an isolated incident, but my goal for Projectize is to demystify the project management process. And by telling you about how sometimes if there's a new iteration or new update to the test, if you are requesting training money, and like I mentioned, it doesn't have to be an agency, it could be your company, given how the contract is written, the training funds may be available for the older iteration of the certification. And so you should always check. But for me, what I've done mostly from my certified associate in project management, which was the junior level project management certification, my project management professional, my certified Scrum, and my IDO 4, everything but the IDO 3, I self-financed myself. And I'm very happy to do that because it gives me wiggle room and the ability to be more in control of the result. So that's some of the things that I wanted to talk about the politics of project management training and you getting money. And I'm going to do another episode about self-studying for certifications and some of the things that you should look out on. But if you're watching this, please follow me and share this out, because this is very important. This is like consumer protection for project, not just project management certification, but any type of professional certification at periscope.tv/Carl R. Jenkins. My universal social media handle is Carl R. Jenkins. Get in touch with me on my website, Carl R. Jenkins, and sign up for PM Project, my project management letter, at bit.ly/PM expert email. The link is in the title. So I would like to thank everyone for taking out the time to watch me today on this episode of Projectize, and I'll see you in the next live stream video. Goodbye.